Second, and another virtues of Ramadan is the reward it offers, which cannot be compared to any often reward. As narrated by Abu Huraira, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم said, كل عمل ابن آدم يضاعف الحسنة بعشر أمثالها إلى 700 ضعف. قال الله عز وجل إلا صوم فإنه لي وأنا أجزي به. Means every action of son of Adam is multiple. A good deed is multiplied by 10 to 700 times. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, except for fasting, for it is for me and I will reward it. Accordingly, this means that any good deed done in Ramadan will earn a reward much greater than in other months, with the reward potentially being 700 times greater, because Allah Himself gives the reward. Third, and another virtues of Ramadan is the night of Ramadan and the existence of Laylatul Qadr in this blessed month. There are verses and hadiths that emphasize the greatness of this night, and every Muslim, inshallah, should try to experience and not meet them. For example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Qadr, verse 3 says, Laylatul Qadr khairu min alfi shahr. Means, the Laylatul Qadr is better of 1,000 months. And Prophet Muhammad salawatu rabbi wasallam said, من سام رمضان إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. And من قام ليلة القدر إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. Means, whoever fasts Ramadan with faith and seeking reward, his past sin will be forgiveness. And whoever stands in prayer under the Laylatul Qadr with faith and seeking reward, his past sin will be forgiveness. For and another virtues of Ramadan is the chaining of devil, the closing of the gate of hell, and the opening of the gates of paradise. For example, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, إذا دخل رمضان فتحت أبواب الجنة وغلقت أبواب الجحيم وسفدت الشياطين. Means, when Ramadan brings, the gates of paradise are opened, and the gates of hell are closed, and the devil are chained. Since the devil are chained, the person is less likely to be tempted to sin. In a future video, inshallah, I will address the question of why are still commit sin during Ramadan despite the devil being chained. 5, and another virtues of Ramadan is that it reminds us of charity and helping the needy for the whole year ahead. It is a month where the wealthy should generously give to the needy. Both the wealthy and the needy benefit. The wealthy fulfill their duty of charity, and the needy have their burdens eased. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Khairun nasi anfa'uhum linnat," means the best of people are those who are most beneficial to others. 6, and another virtues of Ramadan. According to a big hadith in Al-Mu'jam al-Kabir al-Tabarani, the scriptures of Ibrahim were revealed on the first night of Ramadan, the Torah of Musa on the 6th of Ramadan, the Injil of Isa on the 13th of Ramadan, the Zabur of Dawood on the 18th of Ramadan, and the glorious Quran on the 23rd of Ramadan. This hadith suggests that the divine scriptures were revealed in the month of Ramadan. Here, I will take the opportunity to answer a frequently asked question about how the Quran was revealed. This response is based on the opinion of Al-Tabarani and many scholars. About the revolution of Quran. People think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the Quran like this book to the Prophet Muhammad salawatu rabbi wasallam, and that he presented it to everyone the next morning. In reality, the revolution of the Quran occurred in two stages. A physical copy of the Quran was sent down in its entirety from Lawhatul Mahfuz to Baytul Iddah. Okay? This occurred on the night of decree or Laylatul Qadr in Ramadan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala confirmed this in the Quran in Surah Al-Qadr verse 1 said, Inna anzalnahu fi Laylatul Qadr. And in Surah Dukhan verse 3 said, Inna anzalnahu fi Laylatul Mubarakah. These two verses serve as proof of this stage of the Quran revolution. And scholars of Ahl Sunnah, especially commentators like Ibn Kasir, At-Tabarani, and Suyuti, affirm this view. After the Quran was set down in its entirety to the Baytul Izzah, its verses were revealed gradually over 23 years, 13 years in Mecca and 10 years in Medina. The evidence for this gradual revolution is found in Surah Al-Isra verse 106. وَفَرَقْنَاهُ لِتَقْرَأَ عَلَى النَّاسِ عَلَى مُكْثٍ وَنَزَّلْنَاهُ تَنزِيلًا. And a Quran which we have separated, that you may recite it to the people over a prolonged period, and we have revealed it progressively. This is why each surah and sometimes even each verse has a reason for the revolution. Therefore, I encourage you to recite the Quran abundantly in these blessed months, as its nourishment for the soul and a means to draw closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. 7. And another virtue of Ramadan is that it strengthens the unity and the social bonds among Muslims. During Ramadan, Muslims of all races and ethnicities come together, praying in mosques, praying in homes, fasting together, and supporting one another. This is why Ramadan fosters brotherhood among us. While I could only bring together thousands of Muslims by organizing a campaign, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gathers all of us by decreeing the month of Ramadan. 8. And another virtue of Ramadan is that the first decisive victory between trust and falsehood, the Battle of Badr, took place in this month. According to historical sources, this battle occurred in the second year after the Hijrah during Ramadan. Even the most significant victory of Muslims, the conquest of Mecca, took place in the month of Ramadan, in the 8th years after the Hijrah, corresponding to 630 CE.